All right, how about that? All right. Hello, everyone. My name is Jennifer Dillahay, and as a former president of the Student Academy of Audiology, it is my pleasure to welcome you to the White Coat Ceremony for the class of 2014. Today, you will hear from Dr. Zarin Mehta, an extremely influential professor to each one of these graduates. She is greatly valued because of her talents and experience in the field. We will then present each graduate with his or her white coat, which symbolizes his or her completion of the Arizona State University's Doctor of Audiology program. As these graduates begin the next chapter in their lives, we wanted to give them a chance to share some of the thoughts and feelings they are experiencing with you, the people who have been their biggest cheerleaders throughout their academic journeys. Closing the ceremony, we have Dr. Gail Bellis, who's devoted herself completely to the success of the students being recognized as doctors before you. Her dedication is shown through the countless hours spent ensuring that every student is led to the best possible off-site clinical placement. And then following the ceremony, we'd like to invite you to join us for light refreshments and dessert. And now, without further ado, please give a warm welcome to Dr. Zarin Mehta. I'm cool.
Thank you, Jen. Good evening, esteemed faculty, respected family and friends, and graduates. This evening we are here to celebrate 9 outstanding, bright, motivated, and dedicated individuals. Ben, Sarah, Jen, Rachel, Tanya, Carrie, Sarah M., I remember, and Ashley and Maddie. But first, I want to address the families and the loved ones of these graduates. It may not take a village to raise a child, but it does take the love and support of all of you, dear family members, to bring a child to this stage. I can't tell you how much I've enjoyed your graduates during their time at ASU and how much they have enriched my life. So today, I want to congratulate you because you share in their success. So graduates, let's chat. Okay, let's be honest here. During the past 4 years, when you were studying for yet another round of exams, maybe writing clinic reports late in the night, or doing another lab, or something like that, and you were thinking, when is this going to end? Am I ever going to graduate? Come on, that's it. Yeah. So, but you did it. You are here today, and you did it because of your own efforts and good time management skills, and some help from Drs. Bellis and Peterson's candy bowls, bags, Jimmy John's, and of course, Starbucks. I vividly remember those 2 days in March when all of you interviewed at ASU. You came in so nervous, yet so eager to make a good first impression. And they did. So the admissions committee made our decisions, the acceptances rolled in. We patted ourselves on the back and said, we did a good job, we have a great class. Then Ben came up to me and said, are you going to admit any more guys? So to put things in perspective, I want you to look at some numbers. Currently, the US population is about 3 million, and about some, give or take a few million. Sorry, 314 million. That makes more sense. And by any standards, that is a big number. But according to the US Census Bureau, as of 2013, how many graduates with a doctoral or professional degree do you think there are in the US? About 3.2%, and that's excluding PhDs. That's a very small number. You are the privileged few who have had the benefit of a top-notch education. There are millions in this world who will never have the opportunity to even go to school. To whomever much is given, of him much will be required. And to whom much was entrusted, of him more will be asked. Today, I want to share with you a poem that has stayed with me since I first read it way back when in my 5th grade English class. I hope that it will be as meaningful to you as it has been for me all these years. This poem is written, or was written, by a British poet called James Henry Lee Hunt in 1838. The title of the poem is Abu Ben Adam. Abu Ben Adam, may his tribe increase, awoke one night from a deep dream of peace, and saw, within the moonlight in his room, making it rich like a lily in bloom, an angel writing in a book of gold. Exceeding peace had made Ben Adam bold. And to the presence in the room he said, "What writest thou?" The angel raised its head, and with a look made of all sweet accord, answered, "The names of those who love the Lord." "And is mine one?" asked Abu. "Nay, not so," replied the angel. Abu spoke more low, but cheerily still, and said, "Write me as one that loves his fellow men." The angel rose and vanished. The next night it came again with a great wakening light, and showed the names of whom love of God had blessed. And lo, Ben Adam's name led all the rest. To whomever much is given, of him much will be required. The great leaders like George Washington, Abraham Lincoln, Nelson Mandela, and others, they left a huge footprint on this world that endures long after they are gone. All of us may not be of that caliber, but all of us can leave a good, strong footprint in our slice of the world by being good, doing good, and loving our fellow men. Do not dwell on the differences between you and others, created by just a few snips of DNA. Celebrate the vast similarities. Do not take yourself too seriously. You can only give of yourself if you are very comfortable in your own skin, if you can learn to laugh at yourself. Be good to others around you, may it be your friends, your family members, your patients, or the students that now you will have the privilege to mentor, those who work with you and those who work with you, around you, above you, everybody that you come into contact with. Treat them with grace, humility, and respect. Empower people when you can. Do not tear them down. Lift them up. Do not take away their dignity. Because the good you do will come back to you tenfold in ways that you cannot even imagine. So I'll end with words of another great, Fred Rogers, of Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood. He said, "We live in a world in which we need to share responsibility. It's easy to say, it's not my child, not my community, not my world. Hey, not my problem. But there are those who see the world, see the need, and respond, and they are my heroes." He goes on to say that, "When I say it's you I like, I'm talking about that deep part of you that stands up for those things without which humankind cannot survive." So graduates, you are the future of our field. You are the future of audiology. And I have absolutely no doubt that you are going to be amazing audiologists. I taught you. Along with all the wonderful faculty here as well. But today my wish for you is that you leave your beautiful footprint on your slice of this world. Congratulations, and thank you so much for inviting me to share this very special evening with you. Thank you.
Okay, we are going to do the presentation of the coat. So when I call your name, come on up here and you will get your white coat and then take a seat. So first, Benjamin Voss. Sarah DiStefano. Rachel Henderson. Jennifer Imboden. Tanya Carr. Carrie Lippert. Sarah Mishulum. Ashley Pedersen. And last but not least, Madeline Rash. Let's have all of our graduates stand. And one more round of applause.
So I wasn't actually planning on talking about this when I walked in here today, but when we came in the building, I remembered my first day here at ASU, or one of the first days. I had signed up to be the fundraising chair of SAA. So my job was to come to this building, the room next door, to go to a seminar on how to raise funds for your organization. So I was running late and I didn't really bother to check that there was more than one room on this wing of the hallway. And I came up the steps and I saw that the room started with a couple twos. So I went in, I looked and it looked like there were not as many people in there as I quite thought were going to be in this room, because maybe 12 people. I was expecting a room more like this. So it seemed like there was somebody talking already. I walked in and all the chairs were taken, except the one right in the front middle. So I thought, well, I guess I have to walk in front of this guy talking. So I walked in, I kind of hovered around the back for a little bit, and everybody was staring at me. I thought, this is kind of weird. Why is everybody looking at me? This is Okay, so I walked around the front and I sat down in the front chair, and no one said anything for a couple seconds, and then finally the person at the front of the room said, "Excuse me, sir, can I help you?" I said, "Oh, I'm here for the fundraising course for SAA." He said, "This is Native American Studies 101. So I quickly, embarrassed, got up from my chair in the front of the small room and walked out and realized that this room was here and sat in the back corner and attended the lecture on how to raise funds for SAA. But that's how my experience started here at Arizona State. And I didn't think about it until I walked in the room here and I remembered that this is the room I was supposed to be in. Yeah, exactly. I came to the right room today with the help of a couple of people. Aside from that, I just want to thank some important people in my life. First and foremost, my mom and dad. I really couldn't have done anything that I've done in my entire life without them. From their TLC, their time, their love, and their cash, I wouldn't be here without they've been great, and they've really supported me throughout my whole life, and I really wouldn't be anywhere without them, and I really appreciate all their support. In addition, my additional family, extended family, my sister, all of them always have supported me in all my dreams, and I can't thank them enough for always being supportive. Also, extended family, Patty and Dwayne, Carrie's aunt and uncle, who we call our Arizona mom and dad. They adopted us here when we moved here. Since we're both from Pennsylvania, we really couldn't have had a great experience here without them. They've taken us into their home and kind of just been our mom and dad here for 3 years, and I couldn't have moved here without you guys, and I appreciate everything, and they're here today. Teachers of Arizona State. I really was skeptical about coming to Arizona State, traveling this far from Pittsburgh. I'm from Pittsburgh. I didn't want to fly, and move this far away from my parents and my family and my friends. But when I came here for interviews, like Dr. Maida mentioned, after I met everybody, I knew I couldn't be anywhere else. And then after being here for 3 years, you guys really are the best. I've seen other people's programs, working at Pitt, and you guys are just a special group of people, and you guys really taught us everything we need to know. We're so prepared for our 4th years and to start our careers, and we really have everybody to thank. You guys are number one, but we wouldn't know anything without you guys. My class girls, I guess. They've been great. I was a little skeptical about being the only guy in the class when I started, but they've all been awesome through 3 years, and they've always made me feel less stressed because they were always more stressed than I was. And last but not least, I want to thank Carrie, my future wife. I wouldn't have moved out here without her, first of all, and she's my best friend. She was my study buddy, my lab partner. She's just been supportive of me through everything we've done together, and I really couldn't have ever done any of this without her either. So thank you, Carrie, too. That's it. Thank you.
So, I knew I was going to follow Ben, and I wasn't happy about it because he always does everything so well. He's a tough act to follow, but he's our token guy. He's the one that has to do everything for us. And then also following Dr. Maida, you hate public speaking and you're so good at it, it blows me away. For those of you that don't know, as I've been through grad school, my hair has gotten longer and darker, and people make the joke that I'm turning into Dr. Maida because of how much time I spent with her working on research projects and stuff, but I always took that as a compliment. So, sorry I wrote the notes on my phone, but I was nervous I would forget. So I remember going to the first white coat ceremony in 2011, seems like forever ago. It's a little first year, and I just remember watching them give their speeches, and I remember thinking, I have no idea what I'm going to talk about, but it's okay because I have plenty of time to think about that, but it's today, and I still don't really know exactly what I want to say because I don't think there's a way that I can express how thankful I am to everybody for what they've done for me since I've been here. My life has changed drastically the past 4 years. I've lost a lot of things, lost part of an elbow, but you've all been there for me through everything, and I can't thank you enough. You're expected to be there for me and support me academically, which you have so very well, and I thank you for that. But you've supported me personally too, and it really means so much to me, and I don't think I could have survived the past 3 years here without everybody support faculty and students. Sorry. Oh, and I know that my family far away thanks you for that too, because I think they had peace of mind knowing that I was surrounded by good people while I was here and that I was very well taken care of. To my family, I'm so happy you're here today. It makes me so glad to see you guys are taking up almost a whole row. That's so exciting. Thank you for always supporting me and always encouraging me to move, even when I was moving further and further away from you. I really appreciate it. I love you guys. And to my Arizona family, thank you for living here and being there for me. I would be so lost without you guys. Thank you. I love you. And I also want to say congratulations to you guys. We're a crazy group and I love you, and we're so weird and different, but it all kind of meshes and works, and I love it. And I've missed you guys so much the past year, and it makes me so happy that we're together again today. Thank you for keeping me sane the past couple of years. So yeah, I think that's it. Thank you.
All right, well, I'm kind of known as the crybaby of the group, so we'll see how this goes. First and foremost, I need to thank my family for being here because this is by far the most difficult thing that I've done in my life. It's been the hardest thing. There's been so many days where I've said, I can't do it, I just want to be done. This test is too hard, I don't think I'm going to pass. They only let us fail 2 classes, and I don't think I'm going to make it through this semester. And how many times did you hear that? Probably 6. There were 6 semesters, right? But I made it through all my classes, and I couldn't have done it without having my family to support me when I freak out every single semester. So thank you for being there for everything. Like Sarah and Ben have both said, throughout this year, I have realized how amazingly prepared I was to walk into my 4th year. That I do not doubt for 1 second choosing ASU for my academic audiology career. I have been asked by my supervisors my opinion in certain areas because they genuinely think I know what I'm talking about. Which is awesome. So, good job. So, thank you for teaching me everything that I know and getting me to this point. And like Sarah said, not just academically, but from my first Thanksgiving here when Dr. Bellis walked around taking in Thanksgiving orphans because she didn't want anybody not to have a place to go. That just shows the love and support of this faculty. I probably cried in every one of their offices at some point, but we're here, and we did it, and thank you very much. So to my classmates who I laughed with, I cried with, I could never have gotten to this point without you. I thank you very much. To my family, to the faculty, just thank you, everyone.
Okay. Well, first I definitely want to thank our faculty. You are the people that make our program, not only the professors, but the administrative staff as well. You know, every program has the same curriculum, and it's you guys who make the difference and make us such highest ranked 17 in the nation. So you guys have really been a huge support, and I really, again, when I walked into my 4th year, you know, I was the go-to girl for all the other students who had a question, and you know, they'd read stuff out of the book, and they'd go, well, Jen, what do you think about that? I say, well, if it's in the book, it's probably right. I'm not going to tell you any different. So thank you all. You are such huge support, you know, even emotionally too. That really helped us get through the program. To my fellow students, thank you all so much. I leaned on each and every one of you, none so much as Tanya. I never had to keep track of anything, so I always had somebody to ask what was happening that day and where we were going. And if somebody wasn't there to follow, I normally got lost. Even today I text Tanya and I said, it's at the MU at the campus, right? She called to make sure I knew where I was going. So thank you all so much. I could not have done this without you. And of course my family. You guys have been so supportive for the past 8 years. You know, I told them ever since I was in 4th grade I wanted to be a fiction writer. And I decided I want to go to Boston to learn how to write. And, you know, my mom and I spent 3 months on my application to Emerson, and such a huge support. And, sorry, Rachel, I beat you. When I got my acceptance letter, you know, the whole house, we're all screaming. Everyone was so happy, and they helped me move back and forth from Boston to Chicago and came out to visit me. And, you know, never anybody said anything about how much trouble it was. And so even then they supported me, and, you know, fiction writing obviously didn't work out. And so I remember we went to dinner, and I was, you know, I felt so bad. I thought, you know, all this money we spent at Emerson and going to Boston, and now I'm going to tell them that I want to do another 4 years, and I want to move across the country, and I want to be a doctor, and so nervous to tell them, and, you know, just in the middle of dinner, and I told them, and not even a second, they were so supportive and so happy, and absolutely this is what we're going to do. You guys are so great. And my sister moved out here with me. She was my housewife for the last 4 years. I could not have done this without her. She kept me sane, and, you know, no matter, she'd come home and I'd just be crying on the couch, and she'd have no idea why, and she'd just, okay, what do you need? Do you need some space? Do you need some ice cream? What is it? So she really helped me out, and my brother too. I don't think I ever told him this, but a lot of times when I was studying for a test, or I thought, God, this is too much, this is too hard. I just remember how when we meet people, he always makes sure that they know, you know, that I'm going to school to be a doctor, and I went to Emerson in Boston, and I've been to Europe, and, you know, he makes sure to brag to perfect strangers about me, and that has really been such a huge support. And I think, well, I got to continue, because I couldn't stand if my brother couldn't brag to strangers about me. So, thank you so much. I love you guys so much. Thank you.
I wasn't planning on being up here. I hate public speaking, because they always encourage me to do the things I hate. So, needless to say, thank you to the faculty and staff at ASU. I have been there for 4 years. I didn't go anywhere, and you guys have been my biggest supporters, and I hope that I just make you guys all proud when I get out there. And to my family, of course. I couldn't be here without you. You have been my support for everything. And to my husband, thank you so much for putting up with me for the last, well, longer than 4 years, but I do appreciate you following me and allowing me to pursue my dream. So, thank you. Love you. Classmates, thank you for everything. Love you guys. And that's it.
I don't know if everyone's winging it. You guys are doing a great job. I wrote mine down. So after being away for the past year, and I think we've all, you know, reiterated this enough times, that I'm so thankful for the program that we've had here. Thanks to our professors and staff, I really, again, felt really, really prepared, and comparing myself to other externs that I worked with, I felt like I was way above the mark, so thank you. I'd like each of you to know that the time you've put into all of our classes, into each of us individually, and all of our personal successes, it doesn't go unnoticed by us, and it doesn't go unnoticed by our patients. Each of us are going to see thousands of people each year, and those patients' lives are going to be directly impacted because of the hard work that you've put into us up to this point. I'd like to thank my parents from afar. They're in Pittsburgh, they couldn't be here today, but I'd like to thank them for their unconditional love and support, financially and emotionally. I'd like to thank my fiance Ben, who thought that I should throw in here to thank him for taking all of my tests for me. But really, thank you. He's a superstar. He did 2 tests every time and passed all of them. So, he's been great, great support to me, all of my classmates. I'm so honored to be standing next to all of you today. You've been so great to me, to each other. We really couldn't have had a better cohesive group, and I couldn't have asked for better friends and essentially family to gain out of all of this experience. I'd like to thank my Arizona family, Patty and Dwayne, who've really taken us in. They've taken in, even a few of my other classmates. They've had us for holidays, and they've been there for me and my other classmates as anytime we've needed them. So thank you to you both. Thank you for being here today. I'd like to thank my fiance Ben's parents also for their love and support, and just everyone. Thank you so much. I'm so happy to be here, and congrats.
Well, I just want to say that I had a great experience here at ASU. It couldn't have been any better, it really couldn't. I had great friends to get through all of it, my family away from my real family. And the faculty here was just so caring, loving, and they really know their stuff. I just felt like I knew I was getting the best education that I possibly could because they put everything that they could into us, and that really made the difference, all the difference in the world. I really didn't mind going to class because I knew I was learning as much as I could, and I knew I could use that for the rest of my life, and I will. So I thank you for that. Also, my husband, Eric, back there, and the rest of my family. I want to thank them and my roommates at the beginning for getting me through. That first year was a little rough for all of us, but we all made it through together, and we're all here. We made it. We did it. And then just Patty and Dwayne. They were my adopted family. Thank you. They took us in for holidays and for anything that we ever needed. Really helped us out and made us feel so welcome here in Arizona, and we really appreciate it. I remember even coming down from, well, first of all, I remember meeting the half that were at our interviews. I do remember meeting each and every one of you at that interview and thinking, well, this is going to be our class. Yeah. And Carrie and we didn't even know each other, and we were like, well, if we both get in, you guys, let's room together. And so we did. It was crazy. And we had such a great time, like this whole class. We had such a great time here, and it wouldn't have been the same without any of you. So thank you. And I'll remember as much as I can, and I'll refer back to my notes for the rest of my life. So thank you.
Okay, well, first I would love to thank all the faculty. I could not have made it without you. Coming to ASU, I did not expect to have the relationships that I have with all of you. You made a huge difference in my education and how I approach patients and patient care. And I don't think I could get that kind of training or just the relationships we had anywhere else. So thank all of you. Definitely my classmates. Not only are we classmates, you have become the closest group of friends that I have, and the last 4 years would not have been the same without you. I've missed you terribly this whole year, and you finally made it. And last but not least, my family. I'm so lucky that you are all here. You take up almost an entire row, just 4 seats shy of one entire row, so thank you all. Beyond, of course, the past 4 years, all of your support, and I would not have been able to do it without you. And, Mom, Dad, for the last 30 years of my life, always encouraging me never to give up on my dreams. And when I first realized that I want to do audiology and it's a doctorate, well, I never imagined that I would ever get my doctorate. And I would not have made it without you to this point. And last but not least, Jeff, I am so glad that you put up with me the past 5 years through this entire roller coaster journey of my degree, and I don't have words to say that would amount to how much I thank you and love you. So thank you.
We're saving the best for last. I'm a little nervous. Like Sarah has said, been thinking about this for a long time. Now we're here, and I'm a little, okay. So I chose to stay in Phoenix for
my fourth year along with two other of my classmates, and I just have to say to you, I know what it was like to live with you here in Phoenix, and then you all left, and it wasn't the same without you, and I really missed you this past year in Phoenix. It wasn't the same at all. So I have to thank my professors. Thank you so much for everything you've done, for your mentorship, for everything you've given me. Thanks for letting me be part of the pit crew, Dr. Pittman. Gotta represent. Also, I want to thank my roommates. When I first moved out here, I looked online on grad locator, and I had no idea what I was stepping into, and I found 2 PhD students sitting in the back, Mickey and Renee, and it was the best experience. Thank you for being with me, the roller coaster that you know that is grad school, the ups and downs, crying and everything. I want to thank all my family who flew out from Mexico, New York, and Texas just to be with me here today. I have a lot of family out here, but most importantly, I really, really, really have to thank my mom and my dad. Whew, sorry. I wrote it down though. Thank you so much for believing so highly in education. Without you, I wouldn't have made it this last 8 years. Mom, thank you for always taking me to the library when I was little, making me read another story, just from the beginning. Dad, thank you so much for helping me with applications, always helping me read papers late at night when I'm stressing out, and thank you for the Daddy Scholarship. So I wouldn't be here without you both. Thank you.
Home on this. I did do a little number game today. Anybody want to guess how many clinical hours you did in total? Is that my gun? You're not going to win anything. You're not going to flunk it. 20,000. Yeah, easily. 21,391 hours and 20 minutes.
Oh. Somebody got .20. Yeah, 21,391.20 clinical hours over 4 years. So I wasn't going to say this, but we were talking about millions here, 1 in a million and all that kind of stuff. I calculated that this education for all 90 of you totals over $1 million. I don't want to bring you down. But I think from everything that you said today is worth it. And I speak for the faculty. We are so proud of you. I was going to cry. So, we've been hooded. We've been coated. And from what I saw on Facebook last night, I think you've been winding down. So, we just have a few things to do left. Now you need to get some pinning done. So I have some pins for you to put on your coat, but I want you to go to the person that you feel, parent, classmate, whatever, to pin you. But before I do that, there's a few people I need to introduce. While you were away, we were busy. We've hired on a few new faculty. We have a new chair, Dr. Nancy Shearer, who Amy Harris has been given a clinical appointment, and she's also using her MBA for us as a, I think we're going to call you an office manager. We haven't decided yet, but something like that. We've also welcomed Dr. Erica Williams as clinical faculty, and she's going to we have a few goodbyes. I don't know if Marta's in the audience, but Marta is going to retire. So, but I'm sure she'll be all in our spirit and probably show up in the clinic every once in a while. We're not exactly saying goodbye to Dr. Yost. We're just kind of seeing less of you, I understand. And if we want to see more of you, we have to go to the golf course. So anyway, we have ice cream. We have ice cream and cake, and we're going to have a good time. But here's your pins. Cochleas. And that's where we hang out.
That's where we hang out.
All right, so let's go on with the, now we're going to dessert. Thank you, everyone. And the students this was totally put together by the students today. I've spent the last 2 days in the hospital with my son, who's okay.